Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Namaskara. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Super. But first of all, huge thanks to the team here, Karthik for facilitating this, and Professor Suresh Nadagaoda for organizing this. Frankly, I never expected that I'll see so many young, bright smiles and powerful energy in the room. So first of all, a huge round of applause to all of you. To me and to all of us, you represent and you are the future of our great nation, right? And what better way to spend half an hour with you? It fills me with energy, especially on a campus that has the Sabarmati Ashram here of Gandhiji, whom I greatly admire and a fan of, and of course the imposing statue of Swami Vivekananda. I think this is truly the Punya Bhumi that you are in, and I can literally see the possibilities and the potential in each and every one of you, right? I will, to what Karthik was saying, maybe 10 years later, I can definitely envision each one of you being a chief guest here, right? And sharing your journeys of this is what I made a change to the world. So let's say cheers to that. Let's make it happen. Now, before I go any further, given that we have so many bright, confident youngsters in this room, I just want to hear your voices. What's going on in your mind right now? Even if you feel that, oh, what a boring, sad Friday afternoon, I could have gone home and slept or whatever, what's on your mind? Anybody, just introduce yourself and share 2 lines. Anything. It could be about a movie you saw yesterday as well. Maybe you're thinking of who is the new film star now. Who wants to go? Come on. One of the things I've learned as a youngster in my school and colleges, never miss an opportunity to speak. Nobody will laugh at you. Okay? So who wants to share? Anybody? Come on, many of you are thinking, should I speak, not speak? Go ahead. Mike is coming. There, excellent. You are a big round of applause.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Ravi. I'm from Hooghly. I'm doing my MSc in FSC, currently first year. What's going in my mind is nothing but what, according to your suggestion, what new business idea I can do, what entrepreneurship, which product will be more successful and easily interact with the experts and play with their mind. It is this.
Lovely. What a wonderful person. For you, I'm having a special gift for you from Bengaluru. You will receive it from your college. Okay, any other questions? That was a lovely thought. We'll talk about that. And I love your confidence. Okay, who else? Come on, I need 2-3 more people. Somebody in the last row. Yeah. Don't worry. Nothing's going to, it might not do you good, but it will not do you any harm. Do you know who reviewed when Gandhiji wrote his book, My Experiments with Truth? Have you heard of Vinoba Bhaveji? Okay, who was his greatest disciple? Okay, before I get you there, so let me tell you the story. So, Gandhiji sent his book to Vinoba Bhaveji and asked him, should I publish this book or not? He was the only person who reviewed the book. After 15 days, Vinoba Bhaveji writes a letter to Gandhiji with only 1 line. He says, "Isse kisi ka nuksan nahi hoga." He says, if somebody reads this book, no harm will be done. Right? And that was good enough for Gandhiji to publish the book. So my point is, if you speak, no harm will be done, all good will be done. So go ahead.
Namaskara, sir.
Namaskara.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಬಸವರಾಜ್ ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಬೆಳಗಾವಿಯಿಂದ. ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಮೈಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಓಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ನೀವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಇದು ಸೆಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ
ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ.
ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ
ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೆಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನಡೀತಾನೆ ಇದೆ. ಇದ್ಯಾರೋ? Who else next? Thank you. You will also get a gift from Thai Bangalore. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Dr. Nagashri. I'm from MPS Third Center. Sir, I recently had started own brand, which is Healy Crystal brand, sir. It's been 6 months. It will be beneficial for me if you guide further for my business.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's give a huge round of applause to entrepreneurs in the room. How many of you have started something like a business? Something to do, to earn, to sell. Tell us what you've done. After you should. Yeah.
So myself, Dr. Ganesh Naik. So I started clinic.
Okay.
So the only thing in my mind is becoming the first millionaire in my family.
First millionaire in your family. There you go. Wonderful. Okay, we'll take one last comment and then we'll come back to more interaction.
Namaste, sir.
Namaskar.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಪವಿತ್ರ ಪಾಟಿ, ಬಿಕಾಮ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಇಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಸರ್. ನಾನು ಲೇವಿಶ್ ಬ್ಲೂಮ್ ಬೊಕೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಫಾರ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಬೊಕೇಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಏಜ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಇಯರ್ ಬಂದಾಗ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಸರ್.
Very nice.
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೂ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಕಾಫಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಮಿ ಏನು ಗ್ರೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಗಾಸಿಪ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ.
Wonderful. So for the two entrepreneurs here, I will connect up with you. We have a student membership at Thai Bangalore. I'm happy to give you a 1-year free student membership at Thai Bangalore. We'll figure out how to include you there. Okay, so meet me after this. But terrific, yeah. First of all, see, my ಚಳಿ ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್? ಚಳಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಅಣ್ಣ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ, ಕೈಲಾಗೋದು ಎಂದು ಕೈ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಕುಳಿತಾರೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಯಾರು ಹಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಹಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಡೋಣ. So the thing I wanted to share with you is the last 25 years I've been an entrepreneur, sitting there many years ago, figuring out what do I do with my life, till I found out that let me start something. And with no background, I started a company in 2000 called Merit Track, which started out as India's first skills assessment company, long time ago. I had a lot of hair on my head. The first advice is don't get married and start a business at the same time. But that was a fantastic journey. Fortunately, my wife supported me fully, and it's only due to her that the venture went on to become what it became. Meritrack was a testing company. We used to go to colleges like this and test people for Infosys, Wipro, Cognizant, Accenture, Microsoft campus test now. And 2005, we were one of the first guys way back in 2005 when VC was not even known. We had raised about $5 million from China and HSBC. And we got acquired by Manipal Education, Manipal University. So Manipal, the private arm of Manipal, acquired Meritrack. Meritrack continues 25 years this year. I moved out 10 years ago, sold the company. As he said, became the first millionaire in my family. Went on to focus on rural and youth development the last 10 years. Meritrack has tested over about 60 million people. On our Koti Janam we have tested, and it's one of India's largest skills assessments company. And if I were to go back and say, should I have started a business, went through all the troubles, is it worth it? I would say it's 100% worth it. Okay, for two reasons. One is a personal reason, that the fun I've had, the journey that I've had, the learnings, the experiences, meeting people, figuring out solutions to problems, all on your own, without nobody backing you, without nobody telling you that, oh, I'm here. Entrepreneurs, as she was saying, finds no support, right? That is gives me a high. Saying that's fantastic, that's the energy that I want. Secondly, the reason why I say this is also important, not from a personal reason, but from a country standpoint as well. Now, Bharat Deshdalli YuWaah, as we speak, there are 1 million youth like you who are coming into the workforce every month. Prati tingalige 10 laksha jana kelsa huduಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. In the next 15 years, 15 20 ಕೋಟಿ ಯುವಕರಿಗೆ we have to find jobs. So where will the jobs come from? The government can only create so many jobs. Everybody wants a government job. How many government jobs can we create? Even after 25 years, Infosys is only 4 lakh, 5 lakh people. Right? So if you want to employ 150 million people, you need some 400, 500 times Infosys. Right? Somebody has to create those Infosys of the next world. Right? So my point is that if youth like you, who have the privilege of study, who have the privilege of being confident, if you go stand in a queue looking for a job, it's a shame on the country. Each of you must go on to become a job creator, create 15, 20, 30, 100, 1,000 jobs, then everybody will get jobs. Right? So it is not only for yourself, I think the country needs you to become entrepreneurs. Right? And universities like this provide a fantastic opportunity for you to learn how to become entrepreneurs. So I'll come to that. So in my last 10 years, I've worked with young people. In fact, I began my journey here in Gadag in 2011. Supported by Deshpande Foundation, we set up a center in Gadag where we used to take Danakayoru, Haldi Huduguru, who have never seen or entered a classroom in their lives, who have never seen an English alphabet in their lives, and in 6 months to a 1,000-hour program, we can transform them to be English-speaking, digitally literate professionals who can stand on the stage and give a bhashan in English for 1 hour. I've seen that magic happen here in Gadag. Today, the Head and Eye Foundation operates in 100 districts in 22 states. We have touched about 40,000 youth, and every one of them have transformed to be a confident, digitally literate youngster. So what I believe, I'll share some beliefs with you, and then we'll have a conversation. The first belief I have, and I call it the 10C model, okay? The first C is what you need, irrespective of what age we are in, whether when I was a student, you're a student, your kids will be students. I think these 10 C's will remain constant. The first C is that you need to have confidence. Confidence is 95% of problems you can solve with your confidence. For the remaining 5%, you need everything else. When a youth who can't even read a sentence in Kannada can come and speak on the stage here. Imagine you guys who are all educated, literate, you should have unlimited confidence. And I believe there is unlimited potential in each one of you. Each one of you can become whoever you wish to be only if you're confident about yourself. Right? So the first lesson that I have, or the first sharing that I want to do is, be confident, don't worry about what the world thinks. Right? So repeat after me that I will be confident in my own skills. Say, I will be confident in my own skills. Let's say it loud. Own skills and abilities. So don't fear. Don't worry about anything. Right? The second C that I found to be super important, you might have confidence. I'm sure several of you in this room were confident when I asked the question, but you stopped midway because the second C did not exist. That is communication. It's not about English, it's not about Kannada, it's not about any language. Your communication ability is for you to stand up, think, and be able to say what you think. Is to articulate. most of the success of an entrepreneur or any professional comes from their ability to communicate. First, of course, you need to have confidence. From confidence, if you can build communication, it's a deadly combination, right? And there's nothing right or wrong about communication. There is nothing right or wrong about, oh, sari helbutta, tab heldna, yaar yen ankontare, doesn't matter. Never miss an opportunity to speak and to communicate, right? So learn how to communicate. In fact, you know what is the thing that we do, and I would urge all of you to do that. You know what is the best form that our kids in Head and Eye Foundation learn communication? It's called mirror practice. Have you, any one of you tried mirror practice? I do that even when I'm practicing some speeches. Stand in front of a mirror and speak to yourself, right? The feedback that you will get, saying, oh, mukha sannadagittu, yako todultidru, you will get real-time feedback on how you're speaking. In our training program, our youth do 3 to 4 hours of mirror practice every day. And in 2-3 months, they're so confident that they don't need the mirror. So try this out as a simple trick. Stand in front of a mirror, 10 minutes, speak on any topic you like. It could be about a movie, it could be about a story, it could be some serial you're watching, it doesn't matter. But practice speaking, right? Because without communication, the world will not understand you. The third C that I will give you, and I'll give you an example. Okay, why this is so important. Gadag, about 10 years ago, I went to some village, about maybe 50-60 kilometers from here. I met a carpenter. He had a small carpentry shop. One Taman Akkar Maga was with him. And he was making tables, chairs, and all the usual sofas. So I started talking to him, and I asked him, sir, in sales, how do you get business? So he put me back and said, sir, leave here, so I said, maybe I'll put up a hoarding. He laughed and said, I don't have that much of money to put up a hoarding. Where will I get that money? And maybe I said, then you'll go door to door. He says, who will do the carpentry business? I still have to make the stuff. I'm the only guy here. So I don't have time to go and say, buy my stuff. So I was at my wit's end. I said, tell me, how do you get it? So what he told me was fantastic. He says, every time I make a sofa or a chair or a table, the customer gives me some 200-300 rupees to transport it to his house on a tractor. I pay another 100 rupees more to the tractor and ask the tractor to take the most circuitous route to reach the village. So instead of going straight, he will stop in 5 villages and go. And he puts his debut on the tractor, gives him a drum and a stick, and every village stop he stops. This guy beats the drum, people come out, and he gives them a small chit, says, this table is made for so and so customer, costs so much. If you are interested, call this number. He says, every time I deliver a product, I get 6 to 7 calls, and I convert 2 to 3 of them into sales. Isn't that a fantastic thinking? What do you call that thinking? Out of the box thinking, or you call it as creativity. Okay, the third C is, for every problem in your life, personal, professional, doesn't matter, there's always a creative solution. And you have to exercise creativity. The more creative you are, the more the world will recognize you. And you will feel happy about yourself. So what can you do to be creative? How many of you paint? How many of you sing? Okay, so the rest of you, just pick up a painting board, take a bunch of colors, start doing stuff. Step outside the box. If you want to think outside the box, you have to be outside the box itself. You can't be in the box and think outside the box. So every opportunity in the college, when they say, Naka Madro, or drama manana, or competition manana, be the first guys to say, don't say, oh, nanan barala, nan manakagala. Right? Creativity comes when you push yourself. And you can think creatively. So the third C that will stand the test of time is creativity. Okay? The fourth C is again taking a step from leaf from Gandhiji's book. Do you remember what was the first campaign that Gandhiji got pulled into when he came to India? When he came from South Africa to India, the first challenge he surmounted was a farmer's agitation in Champaran, in Bihar. Somebody told him, "Sir, find out what is the problem and figure out what to do." You know what Gandhiji did for 7 days? He sat under a tree and just listened to thousands of farmers. After a while, people started saying, "Oh yeah, what is he? He's not understanding. We're not able to understand what is he doing here, Anta." And Gandhiji said, "Till I understand your problems, I won't be able to give you solutions." Right? And similarly, I don't know if you heard, there's a very interesting story of a mother who takes her son to Gandhiji and says, "Yunge belladu chocolate tumba ishta, tindu hallala hard ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾನೆ, he's hurting his health. Ask him to give it up." So Gandhiji says, "Bring him next week. I won't tell it now." So the mother says, "Simple things, all you have to say is just give it up. Why don't you give it?" She says, goes away. Next week, the kid comes back and Gandhiji looks at the kid and says, "Son, it's not good, you have to give it up." And the mother asks, "Why did you wait for 1 week?" Gandhiji said, "I had the same problem, and without me giving it up, I can't tell your son to give it up." Right? That fourth C that I'm talking about is called compassion. Right? Till you understand what is the problem of the people around you, it could be your friends, parents, relatives, community around you. Till you understand the problems of the community, you can't solve it creatively. How do you develop that compassion? And RDPR University provides you the ideal platform because this is all about rural development. Right? How many lives of farmers can you understand? How many lives of women at home can you understand? How can you be more compassionate? Nothing can replace compassion. Right? AI will never replace compassion. AI will never replace confidence. AI will never replace communication. AI will never replace creativity. AI will never replace your compassion. And the fifth C is, which AI will never replace, is collaboration. How do you work together? Because remember, every great thing in the world is achieved by working together. There is nobody who can claim, "I did it all alone." There will be a group of people who have helped him or her. How do you collaborate? How do you create groups and work with groups? Even with people you don't like. Right? And that is something that is a very useful skill. These are the 5 C's, which I think are inner C's that are very, very important for you. So, confidence, communication, creativity, compassion, collaboration. Okay? I'll talk about 5 external C's now. The first is what I call as, how many of you heard of ChatGPT? How many of you used it? Okay. I'm sure the teachers are not looking at you saying whether the last submission you did was using ChatGPT, but being what I call as ChatGPT aware is very important. Technology is changing very, very fast. 1.5, 2 years ago, none of us had heard of AI at the scale. And we thought OpenAI was everything. Last week, some Chinese company came called DeepSeek and literally has killed OpenAI. Maybe 2 months later, there will be some other seek which will come and kill DeepSeek. Right? But as technology is changing, our lives will become completely technology oriented. And you can't say, "Oh, nano art student, and commerce student, and technology bad, and it won't work." So play around with technology. There are lots of free tools. In fact, you can go build an app online in less than 30 minutes. What used to take 1 year is now you can do it in 30 minutes without knowing a single line of coding. So the 6th C is become ChatGPT aware or become aware of technology, because that is going to be a critical skill set. You can't be afraid of technology. Technology has to be afraid of you. Okay? The 7th C that I talk about is climate krantikari. Climate change is for real. Right? Sometimes we don't take it for ourselves. We take it too much for granted. What is it that in your daily lives and as businesses can you run which is climate friendly? How do you make yourself aware the practices that you're doing on a daily life, how can you be much more planet friendly and climate friendly? Otherwise, we don't have a future, right? So think of climate and climate change as things that you need to battle and win every day. Okay. The 8th C is what I call as, we spoke about it, entrepreneurs, I'll come to that, as creator of jobs. Right? You have to be job creators. You cannot be job seekers. In fact, you should take a target that in my life, I will end up creating at least 100 jobs. Okay? And that will not only give you satisfaction, fame and wealth, but you helped inspire 1 million other people to become job creators. Right? The 9th C that I talk about is one quiz question. As you walk into your library, what is the first book that you see? The Constitution. Right? Every Indian, every youth must be aware of constitutional values. Our job as a citizen in the country is to uphold our constitutional values. Right? You might have 100 opinions, views. Finally, it boils down to constitution. What is the constitutional values and how do we live that constitutional values? If you don't, then you're not a citizen. So be citizen of the country by following constitutional values is my 9th C. And the last C is what I call as community builders. Finally, we are all a part of community, right? No man is an island. If we can go back and become community builders in our own communities, our friends, our own colleges, our own neighborhoods, solve problems for them, become local leaders, be community change makers, be a change maker. Because a change maker is finally what the world needs, not a degree, not just an entrepreneur, right? We need a change maker. I'll give you an example of a change maker and how change-making thinking can happen. I know of a tea shop fellow in Bangalore. 10 years ago, he was selling tea on a usual trolley, and he was going to offices selling tea. So he made some money. He created one shop. 8 years later, he runs 10 outlets in Bangalore. It's called Sharon Tea Stall. Sharon Tea Stall employs about 40 people. And he says, my biggest thing is that I'm able to provide employment for 40. But there's an interesting twist. One day his mom came from, he comes from Madurai. His mom came from Madurai and told him, Daniel Alta, she said, I'm happy with everything you do, but I'm not happy with one thing. Says, what? You're selling cigarettes in your tea stall. He says, what's the big deal? People come because of the cigarette. The usual thing is you come, have a cigarette, then you take tea, and that's how tea sells. His mother challenged him to say, then I don't like the business you're doing. Because you are spoiling the health of so many hundreds of people. So he slept on it. Next day he decided that I will stop selling cigarettes in my stall. And he took that call. Everybody told him that no, your business will fall, nobody will come to your stall. He says, let me look at that. You know what happened? He stopped selling cigarettes. 2 months later, he was doing 2 times more sales than what he was doing earlier. Why? Because women, children, families started coming to his tea stall. Earlier they were not coming thinking that all I go there is get smoke. And now the tea stall became clean, he started attracting more customers. Now he says, I never thought I'll get more business, but I did it because I wanted to be a change maker. So even in each of our businesses, there is a way in which you can be a change maker, right? So the last external 5 C's I want you to think about is ChatGPT aware. I want you to take one challenge. In the next 1 month, I will challenge you, you have to go build an app online, some app. Can you do that? Try now. It doesn't have to be, all you need is one internet connection to a web browser, you'll find it. Be climate krantikaris, right? Creator of jobs. Be citizens first. Uphold constitutional values. And lastly, be community builders and change makers, right? These 10 will always stay in fashion. And if you can do this, if you can just follow all of this, right, you will lead a super satisfied life. You will feel happy. You will feel that I have contributed something. And in all of this, I think the most important part that we talked about is being an entrepreneur, being a change maker. There's so many problems to be solved. You take healthcare, education, agriculture, water, irrigation, women's development, artisanal products. You look around, you'll find hundreds and hundreds of problems to be solved. All you have to do is to apply some of these C's and you can arrive at a solution and a business. Right? And you start small. There's nothing called as failure. It's only trying. The only failure I see is not trying. If you try, there is no failure. So my suggestion is go out there and try out stuff, especially with the college and an administration that is so open to doing it. Right? I'm sure if you go and say, I want to start a business and I'm trying to do this, nobody will say, no, only study on your books. Professor Suresh keeps telling me, we want to create every student in our college as an entrepreneur. That's not just this college, I think every college in India must do that. And you can set an example. Okay, so I'll leave you with one last challenge. Okay? And this, where you will get an extra special prize from Thai Bangalore as well. Maybe we can coordinate that. So here is what I want you to do. Okay? Next 2 weeks, you know how to reach me. And that's a challenge by itself. You have to find me online. You have to go around, either in groups or individually, it doesn't matter. Define one problem that you want to solve. In Gadag, in around this region. Right? Give me an idea. Some idea. It can be, you can write it in an email, you can put it in a Word document, you can put it in a PPT, it doesn't matter. The next 2 weeks, go find the local problem. Come back with your idea of, here are 2-3 ways I can solve this solution. And this is my business idea. Please send me an email, find me on LinkedIn, find me somehow, send me that message. All the people who have applied for that, we'll organize one mentoring session, one pitching session. And we will take it from there. Are you game to do this? Yeah? Try it. It will not take much time. Right? Let us make a beginning here. Let's build a far more entrepreneurial society that we need here. Right? I'll pause here. Any questions? And any thoughts? Or you can say what's on your mind. Any questions? Go for it. The first C and the second C, don't worry. Let's see. I'm definitely going to wait till I get a question. I don't have any problem. You guys have to go home. I have to just go to a hotel. Yeah.
Business startup investment ಕೆಲವು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತಪ್ಪುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಲವರು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಸರಿ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ತೊಗೊಂಬರಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತೊಗೊಂಬಂದಿ ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ರನ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಫಾಲ್ ಆತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಬರೋದು ಹೆಂಗ, ರಿಸ್ಕ್ನ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು?
Good question. Good question. Very good question. See, first of all, ಎಲ್ಲ business investment ಬೇಕಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. Okay? So look for business ideas which do not require that much of investment. Start ಮಾಡಿ slow ಆಗಿ. ಎರಡನೇದಾಗಿ, there are lots and lots of government schemes that give you investment without, not as a debt. ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ್ದು ಎಲಿವೇಟ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಒಂದಿದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೇಮ್ ಖರ್ಗೆ ಅವರು, who is the chancellor of this university, has created a scheme called Elevate where 20ರಿಂದ 50 ಲಕ್ಷ they're giving to startup as grant money. Try ಮಾಡಿ, ಆಗಲೇ ಬಂತು, ಇಲ್ಲದೇ nobody is going to ask you for money. ಇಂಥ ಗ್ರಾಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಬಹಳ ಇವೆ. Even the Mudra loan with the banks give, they are not expecting you to pay back fully if your business does not work. Right? Thirdly, ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲೇ ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಇದೆ. ಆ ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೀವು ಉಸಿರಾಡೋದು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ? ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. ದ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ದ ರಿಸ್ಕ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ವರಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ರಿಸ್ಕ್. ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ವಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಪೇ ಯು ಫಾರ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಸಮ್ ಮನಿ, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ, ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಯು ಟು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡು, ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೇ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದು, ಬರೀ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೇ ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಗೋದು, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಂಟಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎವ್ರಿವೇರ್. ಯೆಸ್ಟರ್ಡೇ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಡ್ಡಾ 247 ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ದೇ ಆರ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಪ್ ಕಂಪನಿ. ಅನಿಲ್ ನಗರ್ ಅಂತ CEO, ಒಂದು ಬಿಹಾರದ ಒಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಓದೋನು 10ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತನಕ. Today, he runs a 500 crore business and Google has invested in this company. Right? So, ನನ್ನ background ಇದ್ರೇನೆ ಜನ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. It is changing. ಇತ್ತು, but it is changing. If your idea is good, if you're investing your time, effort, hard work, then things will happen. Yeah? Any other questions? I'm always available for any questions, thoughts. Karthik and I will continue to work with RDPR University. But I must really thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's been fantastic interacting with you. Next time I come, I want to see confidence. You are here. I want to see the next level. Will I take it as a yes? Yes. Okay, so wish you the very best. God bless all of you. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.